Hong Kong, Kowloon Bay Studios, April 17th, 1995. Tuesday afternoon, 4:15 p.m. 78 people fill Sound Stage 7. Film crew, technicians, lighting operators, but more importantly, 26 industry decision-makers. Stunt coordinators who have worked every major Hong Kong action film. Fight choreographers whose credits define a generation. Directors who know that the next 45 minutes could shift martial arts cinema entirely. This is not a public event. No tickets, no press, no announcements. A closed demonstration where production companies evaluate talent before signing contracts. The invitation list is surgical. Only people who matter. Only people who decide which actors get roles, which projects get funded, which careers ascend. At center stage, white tape marks a 20 by 20 foot performance area. Professional lighting creates a bright pool surrounded by shadow, where observers sit in folding chairs, arranged in a loose semicircle. The atmosphere carries skepticism. These observers have seen everything. Jackie Chan hanging from helicopters, Sammo Hung redefining fight choreography, Yuan Biao defying anatomy. Tournament victories mean nothing here. Only one question matters. Can this translate to cinema? Jet Li, scheduled to demonstrate today, carries undeniable competitive credentials. 5-time national wushu champion, gold medals, government recognition, but credentials untested where it actually counts. Commercial action cinema. Jet Li stands backstage behind black curtains. 32 years old, 5'6", 145 pounds. Lean and defined from training that began at age 8 and continued with relentless consistency for 24 years. 5-time national champion. A resume that impresses federations and committees. But this is not that world. This is Hong Kong cinema, where only one credential matters. Will audiences pay to watch you? And the man who currently owns that credential completely sits in the third row. Jackie Chan. 51 years old, 5'9", 170. Asia's biggest action star. The man who proved you could blend martial arts with comedy, perform stunts so dangerous insurance companies refused coverage, and do it all with a smile that made him beloved across demographics. 43 years in the industry. Nearly every bone broken at least once. Fallen from buildings, crashed through glass, been set on fire, all on camera, all real. Jackie Chan is not just an actor, he is an institution, a guarantee of box office success. And he sits in the third row, arms crossed, expression pleasant but non-committal, waiting to see what this Beijing champion can actually do. The demonstration, 15 minutes. Jet Li will showcase wushu competition forms. Changquan, long fist, emphasizing speed. Nanquan, southern fist, focusing on power. Weapons forms demonstrating precision. These elements won him championships. These techniques Chinese federations consider the pinnacle. But everyone here knows something Jet Li perhaps hasn't fully internalized. Wushu championships judge form, precision, difficulty. Points for correct technique. Deductions for wobbles, improper positions, timing errors. Hong Kong cinema judges one criterion only. Does it look good on camera? Does it make audiences feel something? And Jackie Chan has spent 4 decades mastering that criterion in ways having nothing to do with technically perfect forms. The stage manager steps forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we present Jet Li, 5-time national wushu champion, currently in discussions for Hong Kong projects. Following the demonstration, opportunity for questions. Jet Li steps through the curtain. Traditional black silk attire. Sleeveless top, flat-soled shoes, focused, professional, polite. He bows to the observers, acknowledged with quiet nods. He moves to center, settles his breathing, begins. The Changquan form opens explosive, Jumping snap kick above head height, spinning back kick mid-air before landing. Flawless execution, body moving with mechanical precision, each technique flowing seamlessly. Punches fully extended, kicks reaching maximum height. Stance work textbook perfect. Observers watch with professional attention. Some make notes, some lean forward, some remain still, absorbing. Jet Li continues. Butterfly kick, complete rotation airborne. Tornado kick, 360 spin with head-level roundhouse. Cartwheel flowing into sweep, up into jumping crescent kick. The difficulty undeniable. Years of development, extraordinary flexibility, power, control. He transitions to Nanquan without pause. Dramatic style shift, compressed, explosive. Low stances, short power strikes, rooted energy. Sharp exhalations punctuate each technique. Impressive speed, hands blurring in rapid combinations. 4 minutes in, 1/3 complete. And Jackie Chan shifts in his seat, uncrosses his arms, leans towards Sammo Hung beside him. Sammo Hung, 53, legendary fight choreographer, director, one of Jackie's oldest friends. Trained together in Peking Opera School under Master Yu Jim Yuen. Jackie speaks quietly, but acoustics carry to nearby seats. Very impressive, very clean technique. Sammo nods. Championship level, no question. Jackie watches Jet Li move through Nanquan. But it's child's play, isn't it? Child's play. Sammo glances at Jackie, understanding but aware the comment is loaded. Jackie elaborates, conversational but pointed. Look at the precision, every technique exactly as it should be. Textbook perfect. That's competition wushu, performing for judges who score based on whether your hand position matches classical standards, whether your stance depth is regulation. Jet Li transitions to weapons. Staff form, technically demanding. Rapid rotations, tosses, catches, strikes, continuous motion. Jackie continues. In a real fight, none of that matters. No points for perfect hand position, no wins because your stance was 3 inches deeper than regulation. Nearby observers listen now, maintaining the appearance of watching Jet Li. On a film set, Jackie says, all that precision becomes limitation. Movies aren't about executing techniques correctly. Movies are about storytelling, emotion, making audiences feel something. You can have the most technically perfect martial arts in the world, and it means nothing if it doesn't serve the story, doesn't connect with viewers. Sammo nods slowly. He shares this perspective. He and Jackie spent careers adapting classical training to cinema demands. Discovering what makes techniques beautiful in competition often makes them stiff on camera. Child's play, Jackie repeats quietly with conviction. Performing for judges is child's play compared to performing for audiences. Judges evaluate technique. Audiences evaluate truth. Jet Li completes his staff form. Final technique, throw, staff spinning before catching it behind his back without looking. Perfect. Observers offer polite applause, respectful, acknowledging skill, but not overwhelmed. They've seen high-level wushu before. Jet Li bows, steps back. Demonstration complete. Stage manager returns. Thank you, Mr. Li. We'll now open for questions. Heavy silence, evaluative, people processing, forming opinions. Then Jackie Chan stands, that famous smile, warm, disarming, completely confident. He claps once, congratulatory and attention-claiming. Very impressive, Mr. Li. Your technique is outstanding. Championship quality, obviously. Jet Li nods, accepting but sensing something more coming. Jackie didn't stand just to deliver a simple compliment. I watched your forms, Jackie continues, and I saw exactly what one expects from a national champion. Perfect execution, perfect control. Everything exactly as it should be according to wushu competition standards. He pauses meaningfully. But I wonder if we might see something different, something less structured. Jet Li tilts his head, listening. Competition forms are beautiful, Jackie says, pleasant but edged. They're artistic, incredibly difficult. But they're also, forgive me for saying, child's play compared to what we need in cinema. In films, we don't have judges awarding points. We have cameras capturing every moment of truth or falseness. We have audiences who can tell immediately whether movement feels real or rehearsed. The room goes quiet. This is Jackie Chan directly challenging the premise of what Jet Li just demonstrated. So I would like to propose something, Jackie says. Not a competition, not a challenge. Just an opportunity for all of us to see a different kind of demonstration. Less structured, less performed. He gestures toward the performance area. Mr. Li, would you be willing to demonstrate how you might move if there were no judges? No points? No requirements to hold stances for a specific count or execute techniques in a specific sequence? Just pure, spontaneous movement. The kind of movement that comes from instinct rather than memorization. Several people in the audience shift uncomfortably. This is walking a line. Jackie is essentially saying that what Jet Li just demonstrated, while technically impressive, is not relevant to the kind of work they do. That championship wushu is performance art, not applicable to cinema. And he is doing it in front of 78 industry professionals. In front of people who will make decisions about Jet Li's future in Hong Kong film. In front of the very audience Jet Li needs to impress. But Jackie hasn't accounted for something no one fully understands yet. Jet Li didn't spend 24 years training solely for competition. Wushu, as taught at Beijing Wushu Team, isn't merely performance. It's rooted in combat application, principles existing centuries before modern competition. Forms are structured to develop attributes beyond medals: speed, timing, sensitivity, reading intention faster than conscious thought. Jet Li never discussed this publicly. Championships speak for themselves. But now, with Jackie dismissing his career as irrelevant, Jet Li decides to answer. Not with words, with movement. He looks at Jackie, meets his eyes directly, and speaks for the first time since entering the performance area. His Cantonese is functional, accented but clear. Thank you for the feedback, Mr. Chan. You are correct that competition forms follow structure. But structure is not limitation. Structure is foundation. Jackie's smile remains, but his eyes sharpen slightly. He did not expect Jet Li to engage verbally. Jet Li continues, "If you would like to see movement without predetermined sequence, I am happy to demonstrate. But for that, I would need a partner. Someone to provide the spontaneous element. Someone whose movement I cannot predict because they are not following a form I have memorized." He pauses, then adds, with perfect politeness but unmistakable intent, "Perhaps you would be willing to provide that demonstration, Mr. Chan?" The room goes absolutely silent. Jet Li has just turned Jackie's challenge back on him, and he has done it in a way that is respectful, reasonable, and completely impossible to refuse without losing face. Because Jackie Chan built his entire career on doing his own stunts, on being willing to put himself in situations that other actors would consider too dangerous, too demanding. If he backs down now, if he declines to participate in a simple demonstration, everyone in this room will notice, everyone will remember. Sammo Hung leans forward slightly, watching Jackie's face. He knows his old friend well enough to recognize when a situation has become interesting. Jackie's smile changes. It becomes more genuine, less performative, because this, right here, is what he thrives on. Unexpected challenges, moments where the outcome is uncertain. He has spent decades seeking out these moments, creating them when they do not occur naturally, because they are when he feels most alive. "I would be honored," Jackie says, and he means it. He walks to the performance area, the observers parting slightly to give him space. He is wearing casual clothes, jeans, and a polo shirt, not martial arts attire, but that has never stopped him before. He has filmed fight scenes in tuxedos, in business suits, in costumes that restricted movement far more than what he is currently wearing. He and Jet Li face each other in the center of the marked area. The contrast is visible. Jackie is 3 inches taller, 25 pounds heavier, with the build of someone who developed strength through practical application rather than isolated training. Jet Li is compact, economical, carrying no excess mass, every muscle developed for speed and precision. The stage manager looks uncertain. This was not in the scheduled program. She glances toward the production representatives in the audience, looking for guidance. One of them, a senior executive from Golden Harvest, makes a small gesture. Let it continue. Jackie settles into a loose stance, weight evenly distributed, hands relaxed. He is not trying to look formal or classical. He is standing the way he stands on film sets, the way he positions himself before executing a stunt, ready to move in any direction, responsive rather than rigid. No contact, he says clearly, establishing a boundary. This is a demonstration, not a fight. We show movement, show response, but no strikes land. Agreed? Agreed, Jet Li confirms. I will move however I choose, Jackie continues, not following any particular style or pattern, just spontaneous movement, the kind that might happen in a real altercation or in an improvised film sequence. You respond however you see fit. We see what happens. Jet Li nods once. Understood. For 3 seconds, neither man moves. They are reading each other, assessing. Jackie is trying to determine how Jet Li will respond to unexpected angles, to timing shifts, to movements that do not fit classical martial arts patterns. Jet Li is studying Jackie's stance, his weight distribution, the small unconscious movements that telegraph intention before conscious decision manifests in action. Then Jackie moves. No telegraph, no chamber. Just steps forward oblique, right hand swinging toward Jet Li's shoulder. Not formal, not classical, just a swinging strike, street fight style. Fast, committed. Jet Li is already moving, not blocking traditionally, not meeting force with force. He rotates, shifts weight, and Jackie's arm passes through empty space. Jet Li's rotation brings him inside reach, right hand rising to control, palm making light contact with Jackie's elbow, redirecting momentum. 1 second, maybe less. Jackie recovers, pulls back, launches low kick at Jet Li's forward leg. Practical disruption attempt. Jet Li lifts his foot slightly, sweep passes beneath, steps down with perfect timing as Jackie's leg completes its arc. Now positioned to counter, Jet Li moves his hand to position 1 inch from Jackie's exposed ribs, holds it visible, showing contact could have been made, then pulls back. Jackie grins, enjoying this now. Steps back, resets, then does something truly unpredictable. Fakes high punch, suddenly drops into crouch and attempts shoulder charge, rushing tackle. No place in traditional martial arts but constant in Jackie Chan films because it works on camera. And here observers lean forward, because this isn't trainable in wushu competition. No form teaches response to an opponent abandoning classical striking for wrestling rush. This is improvisation. The exact scenario Jackie described when talking about moving beyond structure. Jet Li's response is immediate, instinctive, revealing something perhaps even he didn't fully realize. His training prepared him for this, not through specific anti-tackle techniques. Through 24 years, developing fundamental attributes, making spontaneous response possible. Balance, sensitivity to incoming force, ability to redirect rather than resist. Understanding that committed forward weight creates vulnerability elsewhere. As Jackie rushes forward, shoulder aimed at center mass, Jet Li doesn't retreat. Steps to side at angle, hand dropping to contact Jackie's shoulder as it passes. Not pushing against direction, adding to it slightly, just enough to accelerate momentum beyond control, while simultaneously pulling Jackie's trailing arm. Result: Jackie's charge finds empty space, committed energy carries him past target. Jet Li maintains light contact throughout, controlling momentum, ensuring Jackie doesn't stumble, but clearly demonstrating attack neutralized. They separate. Jackie breathing harder from mental intensity rather than exertion. Recalibrating. What he just experienced wasn't classical wushu, not memorized response. Genuine, spontaneous adaptation. The quality he developed through decades of film sets, stunt choreography, throwing himself at solid objects, and learning through pain. Jet Li demonstrated that same quality, without decades of film experience, without trial and error, through training deeper than Jackie credited. Jackie extends his hand. "Very good. Thank you." "I underestimated you," Jackie says, voice carrying clearly. "I assumed championship wushu was only performance. I was wrong." He addresses the room. What Mr. Li demonstrated isn't child's play. It's training that develops real martial attributes: speed, timing, sensitivity, adaptation. He releases Jet Li's hand. "I spoke carelessly earlier. But Mr. Li isn't one of those artists who performs beautifully but can't adapt. His foundation is genuine." Jackie turns to Jet Li. "I'd be honored to work with you on a film project. A collaboration showing audiences what happens when two approaches come together." Observers murmur, react. This isn't just praise, this is professional endorsement. Weight in contracts, casting, the entire machinery of Hong Kong film production. Samo grins, knowing what Jackie did. Turned potential humiliation into opportunity. Challenged publicly, got unexpected answer, pivoted immediately. But for those who witnessed 30 seconds of spontaneous exchange, who saw Jet Li adapt without hesitation, they understand something informing their decisions for years. Jet Li isn't just technically proficient, he possesses instinct, adaptive intelligence, spontaneous responsiveness, making a true martial artist. Demonstration ends shortly after. Conversations, business cards, production representatives approach Jet Li with renewed interest. Directors previously skeptical now asking about availability, contracts, projects. Jackie and Samo near the exit, watching. "You handled that well," Samo says quietly. Jackie shrugs. "Testing him. Needed to know if real or decorative. Got my answer." "And?" "Real. Different background but foundation genuine. We can work with that. Should work with that. Show audiences something new." In the years that follow, Jet Li will establish himself in Hong Kong cinema, then break through to Hollywood, building a career that validates everything that happened in Soundstage 7 on that Tuesday afternoon. The story of Jackie's challenge and Jet Li's response will be told and retold, with details changing, with perspectives shifting depending on who is doing the telling. Some accounts claim Jackie was deliberately trying to embarrass Jet Li to protect his own position as the dominant martial arts star. Some claim Jet Li humiliated Jackie, proved him wrong, forced him to acknowledge superior skill. Some claim the entire exchange was staged, prearranged to generate publicity. But the people who were actually there, sitting in those folding chairs, watching without the filter of rivalry narratives or box office competition, they remember something more nuanced. They remember watching two highly skilled martial artists from different backgrounds, with different training philosophies, meeting in an unrehearsed moment of genuine exchange. They remember Jackie challenging an assumption, Jet Li answering with capability rather than words, and both men emerging with mutual respect. They remember that it took 30 seconds to transform skepticism into recognition, 30 seconds to prove that championship wushu, trained to sufficient depth, develops attributes that transcend competition rules and apply to any context where speed, timing, and adaptation matter. They remember Jackie Chan's smile changing from performative to genuine, from testing to acknowledging, from the expression of someone who knows he is the best to the expression of someone who has just recognized a peer. And they remember Jet Li, standing in the center of that performance area, breathing calmly, body relaxed, having just responded to Jackie Chan's spontaneous attacks without visible effort, without panic, without needing time to think through a response. Moving from training so deeply ingrained that it had become instinct. Child's play, Jackie called it, before he understood, before that one move showed him otherwise.